is a full, complete game level. This was actually provided to us. In fact, all the content that I'm showing was provided to us by a customer of ours called A2M, Artificial Mind and Movement. They're located in Montreal. This is from the game Wet, which is a successful game for them, and they were kind enough to let us borrow the assets and use their assets. So always like to give them a plug. So what you'll see here is the My Viewport. Now what I want you to notice is I'm working with a scene. This scene actually has 15,000 objects, and it has about 1.5 million or more polys. It has about 1,500 textures visible. Now look here in the lower right. See that frame rate right there? So as I start to navigate this scene, I'm getting about 12 frames a second, which is okay, but it's not great. It's definitely not workable. So in the past, what I'd have to do is basically, I'd have to manage the display of my objects using things like display layers or using things like referencing, so I could kind of manually flush out things in my scene so that I could work with it more interactively. Now what I can do is just switch over into Viewport 2.0, and what that will do is it will give me an alternative render, which greatly improves my frame rate. So look in the lower right-hand corner. I'm now getting between 45 and 50 frames a second. If I pull into a specific section, let's actually focus in on what he's building, it calls out geometry that isn't in the viewport. And you'll see now I'm actually getting, as I start to navigate, it's a little hard for you guys to see, but I'm getting about 80 frames a second on a scene that has 15,000 objects in it. Now in addition to that, not only do we get performance improvements, but we get visual improvements as well. So in the regular Maya viewport, you can see flat shading with just broad specular highlights. Now I can actually turn on Viewport 2.0, and I can see any normal maps, any specular maps, any bump maps, whatever it may be, on my geometry, and have the benefit of the performance improvement. So a big improvement as far as just working with lots of data. So let's move